A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant escalation of tensions between the United States and Venezuela, President Donald Trump has announced a blockade against oil tankers traveling to or from the South American nation. This move comes as part of a broader strategy to reclaim assets that U.S. oil companies allege were illegally seized by the Venezuelan government. The blockade announcement, made on December 17, 2025, is framed by Trump as a necessary action to protect American investments and combat drug trafficking linked to the Venezuelan regime under Nicolas Maduro. During a press briefing, Trump expressed his frustration over the seizure of U.S. energy rights, stating, "They took all of our energy rights. They took all of our oil not that long ago, and we want it back. They took it. They illegally took it." This statement underscores the long-standing grievances that U.S. oil companies have against Venezuela, which nationalized its oil industry in the 1970s and again in the 21st century under Maduro and his predecessor, Hugo Chavez. The U.S. has a complicated history with Venezuela's oil sector, which was once dominated by American companies. The 2014 ruling by an international arbitration panel ordering Venezuela to pay ExxonMobil $1.6 billion for its expropriated assets remains unresolved, and the Trump administration is now leveraging this historical context to justify its aggressive stance. Moreover, Trump's administration has linked Venezuela's oil operations to drug trafficking, further complicating the narrative. In a recent social media post, Trump accused the Venezuelan government of using oil revenues to fund criminal activities, including drug trafficking. This claim is part of a larger narrative that positions the Maduro administration as a significant threat to U.S. national security. As tensions rise, U.S. forces have already started intercepting sanctioned tankers, with one such operation occurring last week off the coast of Venezuela. This military buildup, which includes the deployment of advanced naval assets, has raised questions about the legality and implications of such actions. Critics, including lawmakers and legal experts, are scrutinizing the justification for military intervention in this context. Stephen Miller, Trump's deputy chief of staff, reinforced the administration's position by likening Venezuela's nationalization of the oil industry to a heist, claiming it was the largest theft of American wealth and property on record. This rhetoric aims to galvanize public support for the blockade and other aggressive measures against Maduro's regime. Despite the blockade announcement, some U.S. companies, such as Chevron, have been granted waivers to continue their operations in Venezuela. Reports indicate that Chevron's debt to the Venezuelan government has decreased significantly since it was allowed to resume oil exports in 2022, although the exact figures remain undisclosed. On the international front, Maduro has sought to address the escalating tensions by reaching out to the United Nations Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres. Maduro's government has condemned the U.S. actions as violations of international law, demanding the release of what they describe as the kidnapped crew of the seized tanker and the return of confiscated oil. Venezuelan Foreign Minister Iván Gil has also taken steps to formally address the situation by appealing to the UN Security Council, urging condemnation of U.S. actions and asserting that no authorization has been granted for attacks against Venezuela or its oil commercialization. The situation remains precarious, with the Trump administration's hardline approach drawing both support and criticism. Retired U.S. Vice Admiral Robert Murrett suggested that while military actions against sanctioned entities are consistent with U.S. policy, they are also a less risky alternative to direct military confrontation. He emphasized the desire for a peaceful resolution, stating, "If Maduro agrees tomorrow to step down and have a free and open election, I think we'd be delighted, Democrats and Republicans alike." As the blockade unfolds, the international community watches closely, aware that any missteps could lead to further escalation in an already volatile region. The ramifications of Trump's actions will likely reverberate beyond Venezuela, impacting U.S. relations with other nations in Latin America and beyond. The coming weeks will be critical in determining whether this blockade will yield the desired results or further entrench the ongoing conflict between the U.S. and Venezuela. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.